All right, guys. So I am a little bit late on this news, so I do apologize. But just with everything going on, I didn't really have a great opportunity to go into it, and it really didn't seem like a super pressing video that I needed to get into. So I did wait a couple days, but it was reported a couple days ago by a guy named Nick Wagner, and started to be confirmed by some other guys. Nick Wagner's a guy over there in San Francisco, that the Jags are expected to hire longtime 49ers exec Ethan Waugh, Waugh. I believe it's Waugh, the way you pronounce it. But they are expecting to name him as the assistant GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is a move that is expected to happen after the draft. It's probably not a great time to bring in a number two when you're within a week of the draft, just given the high role that he has. He's the commander in chief, I guess, to the general manager. And it's going to happen after the draft. So a little bit about this guy. It's his 17th season with the 49ers. And, a couple things that I do want to say about this. There are some positives and negatives. And usually I get into the positives first, but I'll go ahead and get into the negative about this. That's kind of being perceived is that the NFL basically told us that the Jaguars would be expected to hire an EVP. And that was actually confirmed by Shad Khan right out of his mouth at Doug Peterson's introductory press conference, that they put in a request to hire an EVP and that they're in a process of looking for one. And then things went quiet for a couple weeks. 2-3 weeks went by. And then finally a tweet came out from Ian Rappaport saying that the Jaguars are not going to be hiring an EVP at this time. They are suspending their search, and it was also confirmed, I think, via a statement from Shad Khan that it would not happen. So this annoyed people because it's like, look, I guess if you're going to keep Trent Baalke, at least have somebody over him where he's not super powerful. But instead of having a guy over Trent Baalke, they now have a guy under Trent Baalke. And we all know Trent Baalke's kind of reputation around the league. He's kind of a snake. And he doesn't, a lot of, whether it be scouts, like coaches, experts, a lot of people say, and even former players, that just, he's not a very good dude, Trent Baalke, just kind of backstabbing. And, he's a great survivor in the NFL. He survives all kinds of coaching fires. When, look, if you have a bunch of guys that head coaches coming in for 1 year and leaving, and they all do this under your watch, maybe it's time to look at that guy. But the Jaguars decided to retain him, which is fine, okay? Like, he had a pretty decent draft last year. He didn't do a lot in free agency, but he also didn't break the bank where he signed a player and it's like crippling us. We'll, of course, see how 2022 free agency works out for us, as the Jaguars spent a ton of money. But at the moment, there's nothing really anything too fireable from his camp. However, Jags fans felt comfort in the fact that we're getting an EVP, and then now the dude finessed his way into getting an assistant under him. So an assistant general manager. So bravo to him. However, when you look at the positive side of things, this guy has a great reputation around NFL people. Players love him. The fans really loved him. And a lot of people perceived him as a guy that was going to become a GM at some point. So well respected around the league, like I said, and he actually did work directly with Baalke. So not everybody that Baalke works with do they have bad relationships with. This was a guy that they both were with the 49ers organization for a long time, worked their way up together, and ultimately they were able to keep a good relationship where now Ethan Waugh is now the assistant general manager, at least will be the assistant general manager of the Jaguars, barring any unforeseen circumstances, as we should say, especially with just all the big juke moves that has come in 2022, where we expected Byron Leftwich to be head coach. That didn't go through. We expected Rick Spielman to be EVP. That didn't go through. A lot of crazy stuff. And of course, the draft is next week. So, we'll see what the Jaguars end up doing with the number one pick. But overall, it's an exciting time. I'm excited to be a Jaguars fan, excited for the future. I will always try to remain positive because at the end of the day, I get affected by the Jaguars, and I want good things for the Jaguars. I don't want the Jaguars to suck. It's not fun to me. I want to enjoy quality football from my favorite football team. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like on your way out, and go Jags.